Ain't that all what's happening, good people? It's your boy Benson Straxx, aka the Big Fish, aka Gamchepula, host a ghost. And you know what time it is? It's TMM, the Music Mag, and we are back with another lit episode. Now, I know people have been asking questions, you know, where we've been, what we've been doing. We haven't dropped anything for you in a while, and we do apologize, but it is definitely for the betterment of the show, the people watching. Yeah, man, there's a lot of background work that's had to go on, but we back on air. You know, we still bring you the best, always. And you know where to find us, guys. TMM_ZA, that's Instagram, Facebook, The Music Mag, YouTube, The Music Mag, and just like that, see schemes, bali. Yo, and thank you to everyone for watching. We always bring the sauce, so the sauce is about to come, right? So today I bring you a musician, a rapper, a producer, a kingpin of the game, everything. Mr. Magik Experience. You know what it is? The boy OB Magik is in the building. Yes, sir.
What's poppin', family? One time.
Bro, shout out.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, man. That's good.
Intro. All good, man. Durban looking all blessed, you know, the flavor of this weather. Sometimes it's pouring, sometimes it's sunny. You just don't know, you know. Bro. Always keeping it clean.
Shout out. You like, that was a crazy intro. It's gotta be, bro.
It's gotta be, bro.
Bro.
TMN.
We got OB Magik in the building. No, Spidey, man, it's been a long time coming, man. You know, we've been talking back and forth, you know, trying to get you on the show, and yourself also like reciprocating the energy, you know, which is dope, man. We see the work, there's a lot of work, man, but just tell me real quick, how's the first half of 2023 so far?
Oh man, it's been crazy, man. You know, first year, like what much we did Magic Experience. Yeah. As we started working on it like last year, you know, on my promo and stuff. And my last release was in like November last year, you know. So that's how much I've been away with music as well too, you know, because we were trying to like come up with a better strategy to make sure that the Magic Experience gets to where it is today, you know. So it's been crazy, like Magic Experience and Ishelela, you know.
Shelela, boy.
Yeah, finally, you know, I dropped my first single of the year.
Now we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Why you gonna take the
it's been
songs?
crazy. Nah, you know, it's been popping for me, you know, this year, and not to say the least. You know.
And we gotta be grateful for that, man. You put it in the work, you know.
Thanks.
We see you, but you know, like on TMM, it's all about respecting our people out there. So for the people who don't know you, man, you know, I just want to start at a place where it's obviously your humble beginnings, man. You know, you 13 years in the game, bro. That's a long ass time, you know. So you've got people that met up with you, say, in your 10th year, you know, like I met up with you in about, say, your 10th year as well with regards to your music coming into my space. So just tell us, man, where you grew up and how it was in that family environment.
Word. Like I was 2 years old when we came here in town. I grew up in Park Street, Durban.
For sure.
Shout out. So I was 2 years old and we were staying in Tuzuma back then, you know, and we had to come down to town due to, you know, the political violence, you know, the shootings. Last time I heard we were dodging bullets, going through bushes up in there. So we had to move and come and stay here in town, you know. So growing up, it hasn't been easy, you know. Like it's never grew up in an environment where you get everything that you want to get, you know. You had to hustle, you know. You had to like stay humble, you know, and keep it going, you know. So in town, this is where like I first like start to hear and notice like music, melodies, like, you know, growing up, like used to chill at my neighbor's house, you know. They used to play a lot of like hip hop music, for sure. You know, used to play a lot of Dr. Dre,
some M,
you know, Tupac, you know. But when I heard Tupac, I was like, yo, bro, this guy. I think then I was so young to like even notice what he was saying with the lyrics. But it was like the music, bro, the melodies, the keys, you know, what Dr. Dre was composing. It was like, it connected with your emotions, like, you know, so I kind of gelled with Tupac. And then growing up, I grew listening to him and his music. So I started off like writing his lyrics, his songs, you know. I'd play, press pause, write down the lyrics, then start rapping. You know, I knew like almost every song from Tupac. I'd jam it out, and then this one time I was like, you know what? Let me just try and do my own thing. You know, because from there, even in high school, we started freestyling. Like I used to beatbox and. Niggas used to throw in some rhymes and stuff, and I'd be like, yo,
always the place to start. Like, I always know I'm getting a decent artist if you started off beatboxing and freestyling in school, but yeah, you give us more of that,
Yeah, man, so started beatboxing, you know, and freestyling at school, and there was this guy by the name of MPZ, right? He used to rap in Vinek, dope with his rhymes, and we're like, yo, what's that, you know? Tell me that, there's punchlines in this, you know, there's flows in this, there's metaphors.
It's giving you the technical part of it now.
All that, you know, because all I knew was like, if the word rhymes, then that's hip hop.
All you had was a rhyme scheme.
We're done, you know, and sometimes I would throw in some punchlines, but never even noticed that
was a punchline.
You know, and then he gave me the ins, you know, and outs. So started from there, man, and from there I just never looked back, you know. Also with the beatboxing, the melodies, you know, I'd create like melodies when I'm beatboxing, but just that I didn't know how to put it in a digital space now and make something out of it, you know. Until this one time, one of my friends in high school took us to this other producer by the name of TF, right? So when we went there, he was looking for a beat, so I had to beatbox a beat. You know, then did that thing, saw the producer chopping it off, and I was like, yo, that's me right there. You know, that's the future. That's where I want to see myself. You know, and then that's when it started. So the whole love for music, for rapping, started growing even more.
And that was just influenced by the city you're from as well, because it's Tower, it's super busy, man. Like, if you haven't been to the CBD in Durban, man, it's crazy busy, you know.
True.
And I can just imagine how much that influenced you. But I know that for a fact that your music got you in trouble a bit in school. Your grades started dropping, you know. And this intrigued me when I found out about this. You know why, bro? Because for a fact, I think you're probably one of the most intellectual rappers in the city. That's my head on the shopping block right there, you know what I mean?
Thanks.
So I really want to get into, like, your parents, man, the type of parents you had, because, you know, for rap to disrupt your schoolwork, you know, I'm sure that gets the parents' like spider senses tingling, you know. What was the scenario like that?
For real, it's like, you know, I'd always tell them, yo, ma, I got this. You know, deep down knowing, when I go to school, you know, there's a whole lot of.
But how badly did your grades drop though? Like that, because I know you were an A student at some point.
Yeah, at some points, I really wasn't.
And how far did you drop?
Matric, my last result, dog, I got a D, bruh.
D, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. That ain't bad, bro.
Yo, bro, a D. I wasn't a D like that, you know. But then something got onto me, you know. Something got a hold of me, bro. Rap music, the freestyles, the hip hop. It was like, this is what I wanted to do. Like, if they could teach this in school, you know, it'll be dope, you know. So I think for me, it's the love, bro. Like, started missing out on class. You know, sometimes we'd bunk just to go to the studio, you know.
Damn, niggas is gangster. Niggas is for the streets.
Yeah, to us in the hip hop scene, that was gangster.
Yeah, for sure,
know?
for sure.
Yeah, like we'd go and rap, but then, you know, come to the final year, doing our final paper, we're writing. You know, and sometimes, you know, I wouldn't even study, bro, going to a test, you know. It was all on like trying to recapture on what our teachers were saying during the time we was in class. You know, but to give myself time to study, you know, I was at Jameson.
Getting ready to drop a hot 16.
I swear to God, you know, it was a bed center, throwing bars and stuff, you know. But then, you know, that's not something I'd want to say, like, tell the next person or tell the next youngin' growing up and say, if you love music, stick to it. I feel education too is the key, you know, because, you know, they say you need to shoot higher. At least when you fall, you land on the highest mountain. You know? So for me, that was it, man. You know, mom used to shout like, "Yo, son, like I know you like music, but then I need you to get educated." You know, even when I was done with my tree, she wanted me to go to college. You know, at least, you know, and I told her I want to go there and do music, study sound engineering. Like, what's that? Because they didn't understand that in music you can make it like how others are doing it right now. You know, our parents still think that you need to grow up, you need to be a doctor, a
policeman,
you need to be a teacher,
nurse.
Bah, bah, bah. You know, and I was like, no, I want to rap. You know, like it was very, very hard for her to see it in that direction. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my 1 year in college, you know, and study. I was doing system development. IT nyan, you know, and once I was done with that, even there it was a struggle, right? Like I remember this one time around September, because I was friends with my teacher, right? He loved the fact that I was creative, you know, I was very fun to engage with. And then I remember around September, he gave me a whole bunch of files of projects that I was missing on.
Oh shit!
Like, it's like, you know what, boy, you in some deep shit right now. Because if you don't finish this, you out.
You're gonna be doing the year again.
You're
basically.
gonna be doing the year again. Yeah. So I was like, yo, I appreciate it, man. You know, spent from September going to November. Here am I trying to fix and do all these assignments that I haven't been doing throughout the whole year. That's how crazy it was, you know, because of this music, you know, I believed in it so much that, you know what, this is it. This is how I'm gonna pop.
And then in this whole space, when do you meet TF? So I know one of the first few producers you worked with was TF, right? Yeah. Just give us like a time frame on around about when do you meet him, like in your career?
When I met TF, like I was doing like probably grade 9. I was still in high school at that time, you know. And the crazy thing that happened when we went there to do the beat, right? So I started beatboxing, and then TF made the beat, and I was looking at the free loops. I was like, okay, so this is how you do it. Okay, fine, cool. And then like a few weeks after that, a friend of mine told me that, you know what, bro, I just got a computer and it's packed with softwares and free loops. I just need a producer. I need somebody who can make a beat. I was like, I can make a beat. I'm that guy, bro. Yeah. Just from that one tutorial I saw and I beatboxed, you know, and he set me down. And then that's where the OB Magik and producing started, actually. From there, met up with some of my friends like I was doing around grade 11. And then we created our own studio in a bendo. You know, started recording some artists, making young money there, you know. And then from there, man, it went on and it went on. You know?
And like your journey, bro, like I just want to tap into something that before we go into like more of the music side of things, man. You touched on something that was crazy to me. I've never really heard. I get a lot of rappers coming through and, you know, they're playing that hardcore card, you know, but in one of your interviews that you were interviewed on, you spoke about being close to God, you know, and that to much then you asked, it's okay, you know, niggas pray because it's tough out here, but they won't tell the whole world, you know. Just tell us a bit more about like your faith and the music, because we are in a very crazy industry. The music industry is quite the opposite of what's being said in the Bible.
True,
you know what I mean?
True.
Yeah, just tell us a bit more about that.
Well, to be honest with you, fam, like me and Faith, we've been distanced for a long time, man. It's like it's one thing that I always see, like from like at home like Christians since day one. Since I was a youngin', we'd go to church, you know, and that love for church, when I started growing up, you know, I grew distance from it, you know. And then like, and to tell you the facts is, when I met up with my team, like Paula, my manager, right? She's so close, bro, to God. She prays deep, like whenever we go into events, we pray. Whatever we do, and whether we're applying for projects, you know, we have to pray for that, you know. And I learned a lot from that, you know, to say, you know what, even with that knowledge, I was still resistant, you know, to go in there, you know, until you know, that time came up where it was like, you know, being pushed so much, like things are not working for you, you know, you at home, you're struggling, you're trying to get to one point and you're not getting there. Sometimes, you know, I'd even blame it to family issues, you know, it's not so takisa, so they just they said,
service every month.
You know, they're working day and night, flying with brooms over you, you know, saying like you're not gonna get there, you know. I never wanted to pay attention to that at some point, until this one time I was like, you know what, nah, I can't be so true with what I'm doing, with my music and everything, and no mistakes, but yet things are not working for me, you know. I'm missing something, you know, and I'm always being told too, you know, and still like ignoring it. Till this one time, man, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to church by myself, nobody, I'm gonna go there. And I went there, first thing when I got there, like I felt relief, a whole lot of relief, you know. I don't know the Bible in full. I'm still learning. I'm still growing myself with the religion, you know. But I'll tell you, like a lot has changed, you know. A lot of things happened after me, like, you know, getting close with God, you know. We do our things, you know. Hip hop is hip hop.
Hip hop is hip hop.
You know, you can say whatever, but you know, you need to have direction at the end of the day. You know, like one guy can go to rob a bank and be successful. He'll tell you he prayed. You know, and one guy would say, "I got this job, this beautiful job. I've been praying for this. I've been praying for it." You know. Like, God would never judge you for anything, you know, like, He just wants you to know that I'm Him, you know, and I've learned that, you know, for the past, hasn't been long too, dog. It hasn't been long too.
And that's just, for me, like, it really doesn't matter how long. I think it's just that moment, that turning point where you're like, you know, and bro, I'll be honest with you, like, I'm in the same space as you, like, you know, like, you know, I'm definitely trying to get as close as possible, you know, to the faith, you know. And I think it's just that turning point. And with you, like, your music and everything that your whole package represents, you definitely need prayer up in there. You know what I mean? It's the visuals, the magic experience, you know, and just putting all these things together, it's definitely through God's grace, you know. And I don't know if
I
you
can never forget, bro. I do, like I do, right, at home, right, you know, I go, you know, and say, cause it's culture at the end of the day, you know.
Sure.
But then, you know, there's only one God that you need to know, which I can believe in whatsoever. Ngiyabazi abantu basekhaya ngiyabahlonipha yabo, but fanele umazi uNkulunkulu because nabantu basekhaya they know God, you know, so you cannot say you don't know Him, you know. And as for me, ngasho ukuthi, like, because even amadlozi helped me a lot, bro. Like, I was in a very dark space. Like, there was once in a time where things were happening for me, you know. I met up with Umlipa, you know. We created the studio, we called it Parkville, and it was popping, bro. Like, we had clientele coming in non-stop, you know. This one time I remember I'd open up my shelf and it'd be like papers, stacked of papers, and like, yo, we going somewhere.
Yeah, there's work out here, man.
Yeah, but one thing though, I had, like, friends, you know, me and friends, like, I treat them as family, you know. I like to keep my family close, my friends close, you know. This one time, my studio turned into a bando because I had friends in there, you know, and it, business and friendships does not mix at
Don't mix. Don't even fool yourself. Don't ever fool yourself. Business and friends do not mix. It's water and oil. Facts.
Facts, yo. So it came to a point where, you know, I couldn't pay rent because now we have to eat. When we need to go to shows, we have to travel. And who's coughing that up? It was on me, you know. And then fast forward, it was like, I think it was 2018. This one time, bosses came to the studio and they were like, yo, because my studio, I was renting with a mother who had a salon.
Yeah.
Right. There was a salon this side, so you
maybe
go through the
studio, right?
passage, and it's a studio. They came and told us like we were late with electricity for like 15,000.
Oh snap!
And I was like, how is that possible? Because when I paid the electricity, I was giving the money to the lady,
Yeah.
and she was doing the whole stuff because
Yeah.
I was using a small space, you know. And then they closed the shop, you know, and then they cut off the lights, the electricity, and then they had to use each generator. So each generator was a no for me because I couldn't be in a studio. I'm recording and it's like
Makes no sense.
It just made no sense for me, you know. So I had to move out, and then moving out, that's when things changed, bruh. Like everything, instead of going up, everything started declining. You know, I moved into Mayville, and business wasn't going well. You know, and I was all depressed, bro. And I got this whole talent and the music. That's the only thing I have now. You know, there's nothing going forward.
So this is the depression you talk about. Is it at this point because you do mention a bit of like depression? Like I think you've dealt with it. You know what I mean? Was it that phase that kind of pulled you down?
Yeah,
like
most
emotionally?
definitely, right? That was the phase, you know, because there was this one time business was moving,
and then all of a sudden, yeah,
you know, things started going down, you know. But then, you know, believing in Nabantu Basekhaya, like I said, you know, fast forward, I started recording these guys. His name is Castro and Ricardo, right? They had somebody who was doing the management, which was Paula Zamin.
Yeah.
And then when they submitted the music to her, and Paula would always be like, okay, I hear you're dope, you're doing a thing, but who's the producer? Who's this guy you're featuring? He said, nah, this is OB Magik. You know, one day you'll meet him. And fast forward, Castro did a show at Urban Lounge, right? So I was there early, Polo was there early, and then we chopped it up. I told her, you know, I've been through this, you know, and I'm going through that. I'm with my music, and I'm about that. I'm about that growth, you know. I just need to get to the next level. And she was like, say no more. Firstly, though, she rejected me, you know, like on some, nah, that's not my kind of vibes, you know.
Yeah.
And then I think from there she started listening to my catalog, you know, until this one song. There was this time Nasty C did like a challenge with Tellerman. They would throw in, Nasty C would throw in a verse, Tellerman would throw in a hook and leave a space for the verse. And then I went in and joined the challenge, did a verse. She heard that, and then on one time she set me down on some boy, let's work. I'm like, say what? And she was like, though, I'm about the business though. Well, I need somebody who's really dedicated into what they're doing, and somebody who's ready to travel, because that's what we're about to do, you know. And then meeting her, that's when the whole blessing came, you know, because at that time I was going through a whole lot of depression, you know, like not knowing what to do, you know. But the love for music was always there intact, you know. I'd never stop going to shows, would never stop recording the guys, you know. But it was like, there was always that void, you know, with that, what are you gonna do? What's next for you? OB Magik.
That unknown space, that fear of the unknown.
Bro, you know, hey, it's crazy with the fear, you know, it's crazy because, you know, fearing the unknown, it's like you don't know what's on the other side of the door.
And listen, bro, it's understandable because, like you say, you come from a space where you're making money, and then all of a sudden, you say, maybe and the business ain't going well. But like, blessings came. You meet Paula, right? Tendrick, right?
Yes.
Tendrick. Now that's a management team, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to Tendrick. Shout out for the OB Magik brand. We needed this in hip hop.
You know,
so
definitely.
Under them, you know, we see a lot of progress. You know, I don't want to talk about the Magik experience because everybody that interviews this homie talks about the Magik experience. You know, I want to know OB Magik. You know, we got to level it up. But OB, man, I want to get into the city, the city that you represent. You know, you represent Durban, a fire city right now with regards to the music, man. There's a whole lot that is happening. We spoke about it off air, you know, like just the traction we've got right now. with the city moving. Guys are dropping music left, right, and center.
Guys
We're
are
seeing a lot
dropping
of
music,
features.
bro. Guys are doing a whole lot of work, and it's with features, you know. I'm sleeping on features though. I need to wake up on that, bro. Like, guys are doing a whole lot of great work, man. You can see what's Keenly just done in a short space of time,
yeah.
bro,
And
you
it's
know.
just it's the effort, bro. But like OB Magik, where do you feel OB Magik's position is in this team? Because, you know, okay, in this city, let's put it like that. Where do you think you fit in? Like, what do you think your role is, the role you gotta play is?
Well, you know, I represent the struggle, you know. I represent coming up from nothing, you know. That's what I speak a lot about in my music, you know. I speak about winning. I speak about staying positive, you know. So I believe that's the space where I feel like there's a lot of, like, you know, here in KZN or South Africa as a whole, you know. And for me, growing up in a space like that, that's the only mindset, and that's the only channel that is brought to me. Say like, that's the message I want to spread. You know, I want to spread the message of love. You know, I know there's a lot of people there who hasn't been loved like that. You know, I know there's people out there who don't trust the process like that. You know. I'm there to say, you know what, let's go there. You know, we can party, because like I can throw in like those party jams, you know, in the club. You know,
you really want to touch people.
Yeah. Because, you know, so I feel like that's the space where I'm trying to actually get in the city, you know.
And the city's got a whole lot of rappers, man. It's hella saturated in the hip hop industry, bro. You know, it's there's a lot of rappers, man, and there's a lot of sounds that niggas are playing with right now, you know. And you've just released Shelela, which is like Afrobeat, right? You categorize it like that. Hella dope song, man. Fire, you know.
Appreciate it.
Just take us through the transition, man. You come from the OB Magik, we know, boom bap, a little bit of trap like type stuff. You know, you had a nice mix. What was the transition? What the reasoning behind the transitioning to playing with a bit of the Afro sound? Just give us a taste of that.
Well, for me, you know, with growth in music, like, I regard myself as a musician, not as a rapper. Since from day one, you know, I've always like regarded myself as a musician, because even with the beats that I make, you know, I never want to box myself to say like, okay, I want to do hip hop, you know, I want to do, sometimes I do like R&B.
You played with a lot of sounds, that's for sure.
Sometimes I do like, there's this other collaboration we did with Tinai and Omavi, like a Maskandi with some little bit of hip hop. Tinai did a song with Puze Chemis. That was also dope too. So like, I like being experimental with the sound, you know. And then years coming by, you know, piano started popping. As piano was popping, Afrobeat started popping too, you know.
Your Remas, and all these
you know,
guys.
your Wiz Kids, your Burner Boy.
They just
I
put
like
it
that
back,
guy. I like Burner, bro. Like with the way he does it, it's like he does it so effortless, bro. With his voice, he doesn't have to touch.
Very authentic.
You know, high keys and stuff. So I was like, yo, this was so smooth. And then from there, I started doing Afro beats. Like I'll just do Afro beats and have them laying at my studio, not knowing what to do or whether to jump on them, because I was still trying to work on the OB Magik, the rapper, you know. And then I started trying, man. Like,
opening up to the music.
Like we can sing now, you know. I may not be the best singer, you know.
I think that's always the case for anybody who comes from a hip hop background and then having to switch to the singing. It's like, hey, can I sing or not? And you got the producer out there just
Well, with me, I just box myself in the studio, like try and learn how to sing, because my first songs where I sing, you know, and also learning how auto-tune works, you know. Sometimes there are plenty songs where it feel like this guy is raw, there's no auto-tune. Well, in fact, there is. You know, there's pitch, there's keys, there's plugins that they use to just at least, let's say this one key was off.
Let's enhance it.
Let's just enhance this key. So, you know, I box myself in studio trying to work on my vocals, like how to fix all those keys and stuff. And ever since I got that right, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm ready. You know, let me try and release songs now and sing. You know, it wasn't easy at first because everybody was like, yo, OB, we used to beatbox, we used to freestyle. What happened to that?
Yeah.
Now you want something. What's going on with that?
The reception for Ishelena, how's that been like? I think this is probably one of your most different songs that you've put out, bro. How's the reception been, man? Because, like I said, you know, we know a certain OB Magik, you know. So what's the reception been like?
Yo, Shalela's been crazy, man. Because like, not only after the release, because I started performing a song last year, you know, because we were testing waters, we were not sure. We knew the song was a hit, like the concepts, the story behind it, you know, but then now it was all about how the people gonna receive it, you know, so I started performing it. First time I performed it, it was a killer. Like we was at Sasol, Mayville, different audience as well. So it was like, okay, this is a different space to introduce something fresh, something new. And when we got in, right, it was so easy from the hook, very catchy.
Yeah, very catchy.
And the verses, you know, some people would tell me I resonate with that line, you know, I connect so much with the hook, it's my story, you know. I come from a space where I was struggling, you know, and now I got it, you know, and
it's smooth, that means smooth if you didn't know.
The song is for me, you know. So with that, like, it's been very positive, man, you know. I'm really confident about the song. I really believe, like, from the music that I put out in the past years, I feel like there's the music side of me that is growing now.
Where you go straight, you be like forming into like a fully fledged artist now, as opposed to just a rapper. But now this is my thing. You come from a space, like we've just said, like the hip hop industry in the city, in the country, in the world, hella saturated. And I spoke with T-Bag on a previous interview, and we spoke about like, there's a lot of homies that are getting a pass, you know what I mean? And you're like a pardon, you know, like, because the game's so nice, you know? No one's gonna be like, your shit's whack. Myself and T-Bag spoke about the city obviously having a lot of rappers, and some of the rappers are getting a pass, you know? There's no one's actually been like, yo, homie, you know, maybe try something else, you know what I mean? I'm sure you feel that as well as a musician. There's people you look at, you're like, come on, you know, you know what I mean? So there's something that's very interesting that I find, this question is very, very, very important, I feel like, with regards to music, you know? I want you to give me your top 5 in the city. I'll give you my top 5 in the city, right?
Okay.
Top 5 rappers, right? This not overthinking.
So do I say one, you say one, I say one, you say one?
Nah, give me your top 5.
My 5 in full.
Give me your top 5 in full. I want to hear this.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna give you my top 5.
Oh, it's on. It's on.
Celestial Mike. Shout out to Celeste. Skindy. I like the guy's work. P Dog. Musicaholic. Nigga grinding too.
Would you put Musicaholic though, like, you know? I think he's already there, you know? I'm talking about homies in the field right now, you know what I mean?
Like, okay.
Because I feel like Musicaholic has done so much, I wouldn't even categorize him as an up and coming. I wouldn't categorize him as new. I think he's there already. I put him there, you know.
Okay,
what I mean?
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. So I give it to Celeste, P Dog. Who else? Yo, it's crazy with me and rappers, bro.
No beef though, no beef. Don't take it personal.
No beef. There's this guy who we spoke about him like off cam. Did I mention P Dog, right?
So it was Celestial Mike, Skindy, P Dog.
Okay, that's
and you said Musicaholic and you're replacing Musicaholic.
Okay, so 2 more.
Yeah, because we think Musicaholic's there already. Yeah.
Okay. Who's there, bro? You know, this how difficult it is. Like every time when we have to work on an event and we had to discuss, we always go back to the question like who's doing it in the streets. And every time a name pops out, to a nah. Every time a name pops out, nah. Shout out to Mac 11 too.
Mac 11,
putting in the work. Putting in the work. And lastly, I'll give it to Nels.
Nels. Damn, that's a hot top 5 though. Shit.
All
right, so
like I'm really trying. Like names keep popping, but I'm like, are you really there though?
Yeah.
Like,
So you wouldn't have Lord Script on that list.
Me and Lord Script, I see him as musicaholic. Ain't that guy?
Okay.
Like,
Fair enough.
I really wanted to pop it out. More.
Fair enough.
And also shout out to SMG, man. SMG, the rapper. Check him out, bro. He's like really doing something amazing.
I wanted to do like the Durban's wackest rappers, but I know you're gonna chop my head off.
Nah, we can do it, yo. We can do it. I got the first one, yo. But man, I ain't even trying.
Oh man, who's the first one before I give you my top 5?
So if I say the only first, it's gonna be the only one.
Okay,
so
then
like,
give me 5.
Give
Give me 5 then.
Right,
OB Magik's 5 worst rapper, top 5 worst rappers in the city.
Just kidding, man. Just kidding. I ain't trying to be slow tonight.
So OB, I think that's a dope top 5, man. Nels at 5, Mac 11 at number 4, P-Dog at number 3, Skindy at number 2, and Celestial Mike at number 1. Alright, this is my top 5, right?
Yeah.
Right. I would go at the top of the list. I'll go Slim Ego. Right? I'll go Slim Ego. Like, trust me, bro. Like, just the level of creativity. With that guy, he's so versatile, you know?
True.
Yeah, so my number 1 favorite is definitely Slim Ego.
Slim Ego ain't send me a verse though.
Slim Ego.
He knows. Just one time I sent him a joint. Just one time I sent him a joint. I was like, Slim, let's hop on this. It's like, yeah, bro, sure.
And nothing happened.
A week passed, yo, where's my verse? Yo, bro, I'm just looking for a Slim. Chill. But I see you, Slim.
Yeah, nah, but even though he still owes you a verse, it's definitely my number 1. I'd have Celestial Mike at number 2.
Yeah.
I'd have Mac 11 at number 3. Shout out to Mac 11. I'd have Mac 11 at number 3. I'd have O2 from the Phases at number 4. O2 is rap-wise, like lyrically, ain't nobody can touch O2 for me. O2, shout out to you, man. Like, keep that lyricism going. And at 5, man, I'll go with 5-4 Swagger. 5-4 Swagger, right? That's my top 5. I think, that's my top 5. But I could definitely slot you in there. If I had 6 options, I'd definitely slot you in, because I feel like as well, it's very important to critique music on a fair level. You know what I mean?
True.
And sometimes we critique music because we know people. You know, it kind of becomes biased. But I would put you in there. I'd put there's a kid called Luca Price. Yeah, I like Luca Price. Yeah, man, there's quite a few cats in the city that are, in fact, it should have been a top 10, but I guess we'll do that on another
Most
show.
definitely, you know? Bro. There's a whole lot of hot cats. Like,
there's a whole lot of hot cats.
Sometimes you end up forgetting them too.
JB.
JB,
you know what I mean? There's a lot of hot cats out here,
Crazy.
man. But like, I think as well, it's just the growth in Durban. It's amazing that there's so many rappers in the hip hop. As much as we feel it's saturated, but it's good that there's competition. It's good that when we count our top 5s, you get confused. It says the city is working, you know what I mean? You know? And you're one of those guys. And I want to get into the new project that's coming out, Transparency. You know, let's be transparent, just like the top 5, right?
Let's be transparent about it.
You know, let's be transparent about it. So I'm gathering from the title, man. So this is how I normally like go about albums, you know. I'll read the title, obviously I know the artist, and I'll just try to figure out like where you were trying to go with it, what it could mean. You know, I'm wrong half the time, but it's fun for me. You know, it's fun for me. I think it's a tape that's gonna be based a lot. It's a personal tape, I feel. I think that's just because of the transparency, and obviously the word transparency itself. I think it either letting people in, you know, but I think it's definitely a tape that is personal, and I feel like it's gonna open people's eyes and minds to the OB Magik brand as a whole. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm right.
Yo, man, I don't know, for some time when you were saying you've been getting it wrong, but this one, this is it. You know?
For sure.
What else am I gonna say?
Yeah, man, just tell us a bit more about transparency. I know you, when you start pushing, it's OB Magik all over my feed, bro, you know, and I know you've been preparing for it, so just give us a bit more and a taste of
like, you know, for me with how transparency even came about, you know, it's like I've always been in my head on some, I'm trying to push, I'm trying to be a better musician, I'm trying to be a better writer, so I tend to write music that's gonna, like, that somebody else is gonna resonate to, you know, and forget about myself, you know, like, what about you? What's your story? You know, I've always, like, would come across those topics, but then I'll be like, nah, see you later. You know, there's a lot going on with you, you know. Until this one time, you know, Paula always been hitting me up like, yo, you've been making so much music that a whole lot of people can relate to, but a lot of people don't know your story. You know? And the question came back again, and I was like, okay, so I guess this is the time then.
It is the time, man. It is,
like,
for
because
sure.
I feel like a whole lot of people know me, they know that I rap, but nobody actually know who OB Magik is. Well, not even OB Magik, but who Ngobi is, you know.
Like, the 13-year vet.
You know, like, where you come from, how did you come up, like, how did you get here, you know. So within transparency, basically that's where actually unfolding all of that, you know, speaking about some very personal stuff, you know. So that's like me actually trying to get closure with the audience, with my people that follow my music, because I also want them to understand that, you know, some of them may be going through the same things that I went through, you know. Like, you really not alone, you know. There's a lot of pieces in life that, you know, I came across that I fit in this project. So it's basically about that. You know?
So obviously transparency, you know, you coming in, you being a little bit more open, you know. Just open up with us, you know, a little bit about the production, who's on production, is it yourself, any featured producers? I know do you have features on that tape?
I do have features. Lamb Rose is featured on the tape, on a very special song, you know. On the production, it was me. I also worked with Exodus Rhymes. I also worked with All Hail. Shout out to All Hail. Like, there was a whole lot of jams that we had prepared for the EP, but there was just a couple of songs that we ended up selecting for the EP, you know. So yeah, man, it's a very dope EP, man. You know, sometimes it's a very difficult thing opening up. You know, telling about your story. You know, there were times where things were tough. There were times where I couldn't afford to, or at home we couldn't even put food on the table, you know, things like that, you know, things like growing up in the city where you thought like people are with you, but people ain't really with you, you know, where you in spaces where people would just reject you for no reason, like, you know, like, while other whack artists are getting a pass, like you'd say.
Too many niggas is getting a pass.
You know, too many niggas is getting a pass, but the real ones, you know, it's like, you know, when they see you real, he's too real, he's gonna get you and he's gonna start like demolishing everything, you know, like taking over. But either way, when something is God's given and when it's about to happen, it's gonna happen either way, you know. So yeah, so basically, transparency is so personal to me because I jam to it every day. I listen to the songs like.
For sure. I gotta hear something before we dip, you know, like obviously off camera, you know.
Most definitely.
So yeah, bro, we're about to close the show, man. We've spoken about your new project. You've given us your top 5 rappers. The list for your top whack rappers, your top 5 whack rappers is still a bit empty, but I'm cool with it.
It's coming.
I'm cool with it. I'm gonna hold them to that, right?
Touching me.
I'm gonna hold them to that. I'm gonna get OB Magik's 5 worst rappers in Durban because too many of your niggas is getting the pass. Way too many of your motherfuckers. But anyway, you know, bro, I would say, bro, the future's looking hella bright for you, man. I appreciate you coming on the show, and I appreciate the energy, man. That you give out every time we speak about this music thing, whether it's personal or on a seat like this, man. I think you're going places.
Appreciate it.
You're doing a lot of things that a lot of cats ain't doing. You know what I mean? Which is hella dope, man. But before we go, I just want you to tell people where they can find you, and just give us your parting words, bro.
The people can find me on all social media platforms. It's OB Magik, Magic with the K.
Yes, sir.
Because it's a different type of stick. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
You can also find my music everywhere, man. I'm on Spotify, play Apple Music, which Audio Mac, everywhere. OB Magik. And before I leave, man, I just want to say, you know, respect people. That's how you go up, you know. Respect people around you, you know. That's like a hardest pill to swallow. Because the more you disrespect, it's like you're also closing doors for yourself as well, you know.
Self-sabotage, bro.
Yeah, you know, and also like have a circle, right? Have people that think like you, have people that dream like you, you know, like have people that you can nurture, have a team, you know, and with that, you're gonna go far, man. You're gonna see things changing. Like I myself alone wouldn't have got here, you know, if it wasn't for Tendrick, if it wasn't for the guys holding me down, you know, my DJs, people that are helping me with PR, promotions, putting me there, you know, director Sonix doing my visuals, you know, like God putting me on all these press releases, like, without Paula touching the 1s and 2s all day, bro. I know me, like I'm just one guy who can sit down there and just focus on music, but when it's time to do something else, you know, like I'd feel like this, man, you know, like, so like having people that believe in your dream, like people that can trust, like definitely gonna get there.
Yeah, bro. Nah, man, we appreciate you being on the show, man. But before I say cheers to you, because I need you to pick any OB Magik song we're gonna play at the end of the show. So let me just give a message to the people real quick, right? So, yo, everybody, first and foremost, big shout out to the conjunction on Davenport Road, Bafetu, for sharing this space with us. It's an amazing space. You guys need to come through and check it out. And it had to happen this way, because this is the last episode of season 3, episode 20, the space of OB Magik. We will be back in season 4 with a bang. A whole lot of stuff is coming out of the goodie bag, guys. Season 4, watch out for that. You will be seeing promos, so stay tuned, Bafetu. And it is gonna be another one. OB Magik, real quick, what song we playing of yours, bro?
Yes,
sir. Peace out. See you in fucking 2 more weeks. Let's go.
Conjunction got good water too, man.
Shout out, dog.
I'm on the move. Yeah. You can't touch. You can't touch. You can't touch. Yeah. I'm on the move. I'm on the move. I'm on the move. Yeah. Yeah, when Sue. Fell in Lagoon. I'm on the move. Ooh. I'm on the move. Yeah. Yeah, when Sue. Fell in Lagoon. Yeah. I'm on the move. Okay. Get to the groove. Okay. Running the roof. Okay. The field disapprove. Fuck, I got nothing to lose. Okay. Came for the feeds. And shot it, be getting screwed. Okay. Taking up shots. I came with 2 bulletproofs. Yeah. This is for the taking. This is celebration. Magic in the making. Pull up on to make a demonstration. Oh my God, I've been on places, seeing different faces. Yeah, they tryna face me, but my face is on new elevation. Yeah, if you're riding with me, say what's up. Gauge driven, you would swear I'm moving hard. Turn my present into blessings with a spark. We the movers by far. Yeah, I'm on the move. I'm on the move. Yeah, when I swoop, fell in lagoon. Yeah, I'm on the move. Ooh, I'm on the move. Yeah, when I swoop, fell in lagoon.
Yeah, I'm always winning, so I celebrate. Going in, no manga missing, just follow my cake. Get you cheese, no mingane sitting with chocolate. Plus my shit 1,000 degrees, my check it temperature. Then again, nothing king and not a bamboo ace. All the feet, nang tatan is na lapa manya wen. Never miss, shy as concosini, cause that's the aim. Make it peak, so span as your pumule matunain. Then again, so banning king and jump on my step. Lobum she long up and eating and belle say. Sugi speak, no man buy a fana marriage. Cause I see no can funum can agway I'm late in the game before you move. Yeah, I'm on the move. Oh, yeah, when swoop, fell in lagoon. Yeah, I'm on the move. Ooh, I'm on the move. Yeah, when swoop, fell in lagoon. Yeah. If you're riding with me, say what's up. Gauge driven, you would swear I'm moving cars. Turn my present into blessings with a spark. We the movers by far.